All right, happy Tuesday. What's happening? Network.ai, Inside Network, doing it live inside Network on Tuesdays. Usually I have my co-founder here, but my co-founder today is moving in the midst of a move. So things are a little crunchy on the move front. So I'm doing it solo. So happy Tuesday, almost said Monday, but we're further in from that. Again, I'll take it from the top. Network.ai, social media marketing platform using AI powered tools to provide social media marketing. Wanted to do these, we're doing these, we call them Inside Network on Tuesdays, almost like a lunch and learn to just talk about the platform, some of the things that we've got in store in terms of feature sets, and talk about some of the features that we've got coming up. But wanted to take some time to kind of talk about things from the ground up, and so I've actually got um, some stuff that I wanted to share, some of our most recent projects to kind of peel back the mystery around a lot of the AI tools that have been in market this year. So I've got a couple of things. I'm going to take us through our initial deck for the concept of AI, network.ai, talk about that a little bit. And then I've got a couple of other presentations that I want to share. Let's see. This was actually our initial concept slides that we used to establish the service, the AI social media marketing service, just to really talk about the business need in the marketplace. I know right now in the marketplace, there's a big business need to just improve the solutions that we have. I think there's a couple of things in terms of how robust the social media marketing space is. There's so many different channels that the landscape is just challenging. You've got what is it? You've got Threads, you've got Twitter, that is now X. You've got Facebook and Instagram. YouTube now has like image-based and text-based messaging or posts. So there's just a plethora. I think right now the social media platform count of major platforms is about it's about a dozen when you count platforms like Spill, platforms like Snapchat. Those haven't gone away, and now you've got TikToks out there. There's just an explosion of platforms that marketers are trying to accommodate. And what we did was we established network.ai as a means of really being able to produce robust content campaigns that have continuity of voice for brand marketers. So we'll just talk about a couple of the things that went into that, and what those benefits are. So we've got these slides. I'll walk through them really casually just to kind of share some of the thought that went into it. And then we'll look at a couple of case studies. We've got a couple of things. So let's see. Starting from the top, more channels. So with the advent of so many different platforms that marketers have to choose from, there's so many channels, not only social media platforms, but you've got your blog platforms like medium.com. You've got mobile app integration. And so there's just a broad landscape of platforms to address with any modern marketing campaign. What we've done is really integrate a lot of the data that's present to be able to leverage those insights, but be able to integrate them into our campaign content, to really personalize the content, because that's the new expectation, right, in the marketplace, whether it's your Netflix suggestions, your Amazon.com suggestions. Everything is meant to be personalized. I think that's one of the things that enable the platform to address, is that need for personalization in the marketing place. New tech, new rules. So you've got AI, you've got automation in place. There's a new level of intelligence that's expected. So between the predictive analytics that is in marketplace, so if you're using your Google Analytics or any other analytic tool to be able to decipher the insights, but also taking in the data points. So typically, a lot of consumer marketers use their CRM database. So whether or not you have your email, your text messaging platform, but being able to take those data points into consideration when crafting your content and being able to do consumer segmentation. So it's important to keep these pieces in mind so you don't just create a lot of irrelevant content, that you have your analytic data points, your segmentation data points in mind when you're creating content to make sure it's impactful, to make sure it's effective, and that you're not just putting new content in the marketplace to create more noise. Um, but with the new automation tools, there's a new implementation at hand, right? So not only do you have your old school automation tools, but now you have API integration for things like Chat GPT, where you can take these inputs, process them, and create new content, new data for your audience to be able to create something that's super relevant. I'm just going to click through a little bit of the process. So, what we've tried to do is break things down and demystify the whole concept, and really put it in plain and simple terms. What it really changes is the what and the why of your marketing. So it's not necessarily just impersonal content, but it is really precision targeted and personalized communications that really change what you're saying and why you're saying it. Being able to take contextual positioning of your consumer into context when producing those media assets, and then the where and the when. Right now, you've got multiple platforms, right? And then you can also schedule and time your content. So posting, taking into consideration regional time zones. So you can have your email campaign or your social campaign set up to deploy at the best time for where your consumer market is located. So sometimes you've got UK based consumers, you've got California based consumers, but being able to create a database that understands where your consumers are. So whether or not it's via text message or via email, you're delivering those messages at the right time and the right place. And a lot of people know this, but it's worth saying again. And then really at the end of the day, it's about who, and that going back to that consumer segmentation and being able to understand who your marketer or who your consumer is, and really deliver value on that. And so it's kind of walking through a couple of those things and then digging deeper. And we'll get through this to talk about the tool sets themselves. So we've got a couple of tools of the trade. So right now, I know everybody knows about the obvious ones, but really kind of wanted to dig into the segments. And sorry, this is a little small. Have to boost that up in size. But really, what this does is break down the tool sets that we use. So we have copywriting tools, which are multi-language, large language models that produce a lot of the copy, the scripts for our videos, the content for our banners, the emails, and that sort of thing. But then we also have the text to image tools. So we use Stable Diffusion as a standard. And then the third tool in our tool set is our voice models. So we use that in tandem to really give us the full gamut of tools that we need to produce the content for our clients. We'll walk through this really quickly and then try and get to some of the more exciting examples of our most recent campaigns, but wanted to just kind of set the stage. And so, well, let's click through this. really quick, and let me share one of our more recent campaigns. So this is a campaign that we did for one of our clients called the Bell brand, and it was a brand that we actually helped create for clients from scratch, using our AI platform, which provided not only the brand strategy, but also the campaign assets and the whole look and feel for the campaign. And we'll walk through that in a little bit. But we'll walk through the process. So, in our process, we've got a 4-step process where initially we work with clients on an interview to really discern the objectives of their brand. We do an audit coming out of that interview to see what assets they have in market and how those things are performing. And then after that, we set up an AI agent. And so what that is a brand instance that, or an AI instance that is familiar with the brand objectives of your company, that is familiar with the tone of voice, that is familiar with your brand values. And so it's a customized, let's say, bot. We call it like a network agent, so to speak. But what that does is removes the need to brief creatives every time we need to do a campaign, whether it is the monthly social campaign or a new CRM campaign. We remove that need to brief a new creative every time. And then once we create the content and that campaign is in the marketplace, we do a report to look at how to pivot, how to respond. This is a couple of slides to talk about the process. Just back to that brand AI agent being trained specifically on your brand. So we have a portal that is very aligned with your brand's objectives, brand voice, and all those things. And then behind that, we produce a brand report. We've got a sample of them. We'll share. And then, this is it. This is a sample report from the Bell brand. And also mention as we walk through, all of the art that you see is customized for this particular brand. So when we do a brand report, we'll usually populate it with artwork that is aligned with that brand's look, style, and just visual feel. Let's see. We looked at one of the things our platform does is just look at the business model of the brand, just to make sure that the insights are true to what the operational needs are for the particular brand. And so this is one of the initial pieces, is just a reiterating of the brand model for that particular client, and just talking about the strengths and benefits of their brand. And what this also does is trains the agent on your brand. So we've got the AI agent that in the process of creating this report looks at your brand, understands its strengths, weaknesses, how it is connected with the audience. And so all of those learnings go into the content that the brand creates. And so then after that, our our platform created a brand recommendation or a campaign recommendation. Um, Once we have a campaign recommendation, we have a standard production process where it's like 5-step. They call it like 5D production process, where we walk through a discovery, the definition, where we define the project brief, the design component, where we actually create the assets, and there's a review cycle process. And then we develop, meaning distribute the assets on the different platforms. I've got the breakdown slides here. Discovery, where we talk about the feasibility of what the campaign is for the particular project. Definition is where we go through that brief development to make sure we're aligned on the aims and the initiatives of the campaign. The design, where we actually produce the assets and collateral. And then there's a development stage where we actually populate the assets and then distribute, where we actually put those assets in place on the different platforms where they're meant to go. And then the deploy, where we actually launch the campaign. Um, with each one, we always provide like a project plan. Typically, we have a campaign launch monthly for clients. With this particular client, since it was a launch from scratch, where we did the website, social media campaign, as well as CRM assets from scratch. This took a 5 month life cycle period, just to accommodate the client reviews and client alignment, and then the design of the assets over the life cycle of the project. And so that's one of the things. And then also, it talks about the different alignment points. So this particular client is working towards a holiday season launch, where we're working with them to put the brand in place for a specific launch around that time. So, and then this is just some additional content that our platform produced in terms of providing just some insights around the business model and different hacks on production for that particular client. I've got a couple of other projects that are interesting. I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share one of our other projects that are a little bit more exciting. We just did a project for a rock and roll band or blues band, and really what their objective was to be able to come up with a brand identity. And this is where you get to see um, the campaign from scratch pulled through. So this is a band called Voodoo Rose. The objective there was to create a look and feel for the brand. With the platform, we came up with this look and feel of the sort of like rock and roll, skull, mystic, magic look, and created all original art. So as you're looking through all of the copy for the website, all of the different pieces of art were all created by our AI platform. Again, we use a stable diffusion integration on the back end. Our platform is integrated with OpenAI as a backend engine. So we use the engines of ChatGPT. We use the engine of DALI, using the stable diffusion approach to create the image assets, but also the language for the content of all of the pages. Working with the class just to make sure everything is in line with the look and feel, the brand voice that they've set forward, and then be able to help them work with their assets to pull the look and feel through other platforms. So you see here, we've got the website, but also we worked with them on the assets to pull that same look and feel through their Instagram page. So you're seeing the same sort of look and feel and language on their Instagram page as is with the Facebook. So the same look and feel pulled through on the Facebook with videos and other content. Again, all of this content is original content produced by the platform. So they have rights to all of the it's all what you would consider royalty free, because it's no need for licensing the images. All of the images and assets are original, and then also being able to pull through other platforms. So they've got their YouTube channel with various videos. They're able to use the thumbnail artwork for the videos as well. So you're seeing a full pull through or full integration of the look and feel of the assets. And they're same being able to pull through the artwork with the images for the thumbnails, as well as some of the other assets. And one of the interesting things is, and I'm not sure if this would be able to share sound, but this is one of the instances where we were able to do some voiceover work. So this is AI voiceover, AI music, AI scripted, and I'll share this video if it can play. Let's see if we can. So I'm not sure if that audio came through, but if you look at it, that is all AI animation. Super lifelike movement, very rich color, very fine detail. So wanted to share some of the things that we were working on. Um, just to kind of give a peek behind the curtain in terms of what's happening with our platform and some of the things that we're doing. Again, thanks for hanging out. Um, Reach out. We are Network AI. We're right now in beta, so our official launch comes in September, but we're in beta. So reach out. LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. We're on all the platforms, and reach out if you want to check out the beta. We're I think we've got about 100 or so clients in beta right now. So definitely reach out, and thanks for stopping by. Cheers. Happy Tuesday. Have a good one. Thanks.